Good afternoon, everyone. Timothy at Time Refinement, back at it again. I want to discuss some personality traits that a lot of us hold, and that is to lose our identity in whatever we're doing. Now, what do I mean by losing identity? Well, losing your identity is when someone asks you who you are. Someone asks me, "Who are you?" I'm Timothy. Timothy, what do you do? I run a food truck here. Timothy, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, hobbies, softball, basketball, baseball, pickleball, all the above, right? But does that get to the crux of who I am? And the answer is no, because these are just a list of things that I like to do or what I do, but it's actually not who I am. So the burning question is, what are we here for, and who are we, right? A lot of us say that we're just, pieces of meat with a brain in a costume, right? We're just meandering around, wondering what to do with our lives. And that is true. But there's something else. There's something else that we're missing. And that is who we are as a person. Now, I can say that Timothy does all of these things. He enjoys doing these things. He loves being around people, but I'm still on the journey of trying to figure out who I actually am. Like, what do I actually want? Who is Timothy meant to be? What is he meant to do in this life? I've been on that journey for obviously my entire life, but I've been on the journey since, probably a couple of years now. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, who I want to be. Do I want to be that fancy guy with cars and a house? Maybe. Do I want to be that guy that just has a bunch of bank accounts and has to never worry about them ever again, about bills going in and out, cash coming in and out? Maybe. Yeah, that would be nice. But I'm just doing what I see and what other people want to do, right? So you have to ask yourself who you are. Who are you as a person? It's not who others tell you to be. It's not who others want you to be. It's not even what you say you're going to be, because that's all just outside noise and emotion that just pours into you to tell you what to do and what to think and who to be and what to do and who to love. All of these things, we have to ask ourselves these important questions. Now, this can also get into identity crisis, right? We're like wondering who we are, depending however you grew up as a child, whether you deconstructed religion, whether you came back into religion, whether you believed one way and thought, wow, this is not exactly what life is. And so all of these factors can play into identity crises, which is some people, I was part of a 12-step group for quite a while. I think I mentioned this before on the channel. And people that didn't and weren't able to attend their 12-step groups or conferences or meetings had an absolute crisis, because that was who they were. They identified with that crowd. And if they didn't have that, they didn't know what or who to be. Now, I personally believe that you are a stronger individual if you can individualize yourself, if I might say, and not necessarily adhere to one group. People like to single out others easily, right? That person is this way, or that person's this way. But we like to put people in a box. And if we don't adhere to that box, we have lots of people asking questions and wondering what is wrong with that person because they don't adhere to any one thing. And I used to believe growing up that if you were sitting on the fence or you didn't pick one way or the other, that you were just a lost and completely, utterly useless individual. And I don't believe that anymore because I think it takes a lot of courage and a lot of willpower and a lot of humbleness to really question things and to really figure out what you want as a person. Now you can go down the rabbit hole and go, well, nothing matters and nothing makes sense, therefore I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. We have those as well. And I'll make another video on this. I know I keep mentioning I will make another video as I'm making the video, but I want to talk about the significance and the insignificance of life at the same time, meaning you have goals, you want to do a bunch of things in life, but then you are completely depressed and feel like life doesn't matter. So you have to figure out kind of that gray area. That's down the road. We're talking about the identity crisis here. So what I suggest you do, and what I have done in the past, is to just sit and just be quiet. To not do anything, to turn your phone off, to turn the podcasts off, to turn the music off, to turn the video games off, all of it. Don't go and talk to anybody. Sit with yourself, sit with your feelings, and just be quiet for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long. Each and every day. Try and sit with yourself and just think of nothing. I know that sounds like a crazy thought and a crazy, wild just thought, but if you can sit with yourself and just be completely quiet and don't think of what you need to do, what you have done and need to do, and the things that you did and messed up, don't think about any of that. Just sit with yourself, be patient, be quiet. You'd be surprised after a little while being consistent with this, how much peaceful you can get. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to completely give you an identity and figure out exactly what you need to do in life, but it will give you some sense of security and some sense of peace on what you do need to do, because we have so much noise going on all the time. Again, people telling you what to do, people telling you what not to do, the media and the social media and society and all of these things are always constantly telling us what we need to buy and what we need to do. And if we can just tune and block all of that out and just sit and be at peace and be at quiet for just a few minutes each day, you are well on your way to being and becoming who you need to be. I know that sounds corny. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Most of us cannot turn the noise off because we're so used now, right now, we're so used to having all this noise at all times, right? We scroll and doom scroll on our phone until we fall asleep at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., right? We don't give ourselves 15 minutes to just be quiet. You don't even need to read a book. I know people talk about, well, figure out a routine and, figure out what you need to do each and every night. This is what I suggest. I suggest being quiet. Again, 10, 15 minutes each night. Quiet wherever it is, in your room, outside, depending on where you are. Tuning it all out. Closing your eyes. It doesn't have to be a weird ritual or meditation or prayer or anything, but just be quiet and try not to think of anything. This will, and I promise you, I really do. I promise that this will give you clarity and this will give you peace and patience for what you need to do and the steps that you need to take on who you need to be as a person, whether you're Justin or Amanda or anybody else in life. You figure out who you are and what you need to do. This will 100% help that. I promise. I guarantee it. It's helped me. I've fallen off the bandwagon. I have to admit, the past few months, I haven't been doing it. And it's probably it's no wonder that I've felt a little bit of sad and depressed lately. But I haven't tuned the noise out. So I need to listen to my own advice here. I want to encourage you to do that. And I know it seems like it's wasting a little bit of time. Like, I don't have time. It's really hard to dedicate 10 or 15 minutes before I go to bed, to do this. But I promise you, if you consistently do this, it will make you feel better and it will make you sleep better. And it will give you that sense of peace that really nothing else will bring as far as outside noise goes. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Please take this advice. Let me know what you think about this as well. I want to know some, just some, back and forth with this. I want to know if it's worked for people. I want to know if it's not worked for people. So again, I appreciate you guys. I love you. I cherish you. We are on this journey called life. We're on this journey to figure out our identity, and I want to help you do that and be there for you. Timothy's out. Keep on refining. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.